Ladies and gentlemen, a very happy Halloween. It's lovely to see that so many members of the press have come dressed for the occasion. On behalf of Camosa AG for the World Boxing Super Series, I'd like to welcome everybody here today for the final press conference ahead of a fantastic night of boxing, the quest for the Muhammad Ali Trophy at the SSE Hydro Glasgow this Saturday, November the 3rd. It's one night, it's two huge World Boxing Super Series quarter-final showdowns. It's a spectacular double-header. Northern Ireland's Ryan Burnett, he puts his WBA Super World Bantamweight title on the line against former four-division world champion, the Filipino Flash, Nonito Donaire. Also at stake on this one, the WBC Diamond Belt. And the Tartan Tornado, Josh Taylor. He returns to the SSE Hydro to begin his quest for the Muhammad Ali Trophy, and he puts his WBC Silver Super Lightweight belt on the line in this World Boxing Super Series quarter-final clash against the undefeated American, Ryan Blue Chip Martin, 22-0. It's going to be a great event. It's going to be a top undercard. We're showcasing local talent. We have two World Boxing Super Series reserve fights, and we have the British Super Middleweight crown. Two undefeated boxers, Zach Parker and English champion Darryl Williams. So if you'd let me introduce the table to you, we have the CEO of Matchroom Boxing, Mr. Frank Smith. Please welcome Frank to Glasgow. We have full-weight world champion, the Filipino Flash, Nonito Donaire. We have Nonito's opponent, the WBA Super World Bantamweight champion, undefeated from Belfast, Northern Ireland, Ryan Burnett. We have the former undefeated WBA Intercontinental and WBC Continental America's 135-pound champion, himself undefeated, 22-0 from Cleveland, Ohio, USA, Ryan Blue Chip Martin. We have the WBC Silver Super Lightweight champion, 13-0, 11 KOs from Preston Pans, Edinburgh, Scotland, the Tartan Tornado, Josh Taylor. And we have the Chief Boxing Officer of Camosa AG, the power behind the Super Series, Mr. Calla Sutherland. So, Calla, if I could turn to you first, it's week number 5 of the second World Boxing Super Series. This weekend the lights come to Scotland, the massive show rolls into Glasgow, and for you guys it's been quite a month. 7th of October, Japan, you kicked off the season, you then went to Russia, and then 2 back-to-back weeks in the USA. So now we're here in Glasgow. What do you expect, and what do the fans, what will they expect on Glasgow Saturday night?
Well, first of all, it's actually, I think, the 6th week on the road, because we had the final, of course, with Groves and Smith. So, no, it's great to be in Scotland. Super, super excited to bring the lights to Glasgow. When you look in, week out, I sit up here and sit with the most talented athletes, gladiators in the business. We have a double header, a stacked card. I think I wouldn't be exaggerating if I look at the quality and the depth. It's the best card that Scotland's seen in many, many years. And I think that, you know, if you look at what the Super Series is trying to do, and what we're doing is bringing the best versus the best. No BS. This is about the real thing. It's about finding out who the best is in the weight classes. We found out the best super middleweight was Callum Smith. We found out the best cruiserweight was Alexander Usyk. And this season we're going to find out, the guys up here are going to show us who the best bantamweight and who the best super lightweight is in the world. You know what? The thing is, it's always, boxing's often about money and about, you know, going out there and earning a day. And that's all good, and that's all part of the game. But the Ali Trophy brings a little bit more than that. And we believe that the people who step up into this tournament, it's not about taking a year out and doing 3 voluntaries and getting good paydays out of it. It's about putting your, excuse the language, nuts on the line to find out who the best is. And it's very easy as a champion to sit it out and say, okay, well, I'll wait and I'll fight the winner. I'll take easy fights and I'll get one payday. Well, the guys up here have chosen to be in this tournament. They've chosen to represent the Ali Trophy, to find out who the best is in the weight class. So I'm not going to go into too many of the introductions as you normally would in the UK as a promoter. I think you did that very well. Thank you very much, Craig. But I think, you know, if you look at the two fights, you've obviously got amazing matchups, and I'm going to stick to the main events. You could talk all day also about the undercard and the British title fight and the reserve fights with Postol and Paul Butler. But if you look at, obviously, Nonito Donaire, you know, someone who's had such a story in this sport, an amazing story, someone who's coming down in weight to try it against, you know, many who say that, I'm not sure, I don't really believe in bookies, but I know many fancy Ryan Burnett to go all the way. So it's I wouldn't say, I don't want to say clash of generations, but it is certainly for Nonito a big chance to resurrect the career, and for obviously Ryan Burnett to make a real statement in this tournament. And we've seen some statements. Look at Inouye in Japan. You know, Rodriguez had obviously a very tough win against Maloney, who showed once again the depth in the tournament, and Tete against Aloyan. But you know, this is a fight where you have a real storyline outside of it as well. Then you look at obviously Taylor Martin. You know, two guys much talked about either side of the Atlantic. Just come back from New Orleans. All the American press were telling me about Ryan Martin, and I arrive here and everyone's telling me about Josh Taylor. So, you know, in the famous words, someone oh's got to go. We got two undefeated gladiators, two undefeated young, hungry guys who want to make it to the top. They're in the tournament for a reason, and I can't wait for Saturday. From a sporting level, from a personal level, to do this in Scotland. You know, the tickets are going very well. We're at over 4,500 now. We expect 6,000 in the venue on Saturday. So we're going to have a great atmosphere, and I'm sure, I've been here for the football quite a few times, I'm sure the roof will be raised. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you, Carla. Just before we go to the boxers, you mentioned Jeddah. We saw season one end in spectacular fashion in Jeddah. Final also Russia in July, the Muhammad Ali Trophy being lifted by Alexander Usyk and by Callum Smith. But also, and this sort of transcends the politics of boxing, Usyk became crowned the undisputed cruiserweight champion of the world. I think you've got 6 world titles in the second series. You've raised the bar. This is sort of unheard of, and again, it transcends the politics of boxing. You're making global superstars. What are your expectations for season 2 in that vein?
I think more of the same. You know, you make a good point with the finals, but if you look down and the other fights as well, and there's quarterfinals and there's certainly semi-finals. If I just think back to, you know, Dorticos, Kasiev, Usyk Predis, even the drama around Groves versus Eubank, obviously. You know, we're out there to make the best fights, and that's not really a talent. You know, promoters like to steal the name of putting fights together, great matchmaking and what have you. I don't believe in great matchmaking. I believe if you put the best against the best, forget styles make fights. You know, best against the best, you'll get good fights. End of. And you know, the politics is interesting. You know, I'm not really a believer in too much of politics. I believe in going out there and getting things done, and we work with everyone. You know, we work in the UK. You obviously have a big rivalry between Matchroom and Warren. You know, both have got fighters in the tournament. You know, you've got Cyclone Promotions, we've got a fighter in the tournament. We all work very much hand in hand. We've got all the American promoters involved. It's a promoter-free product. This is not a statement to go out and make a name as a promoter. This is about the World Boxing Super Series. It's about the Champions League of boxing, and you know, sometimes I think promoters take themselves too seriously on that role.
Well, you talk about promoters and working with promoters. We have a rival promoter with us on the table. We have the CEO of Matchroom Boxing, Frank Smith. Frank is here as the promoter of Ryan Burnett. Frank, it makes a change for you to be on the table and not having all the work to do. What's your take on the World Boxing Super Series?
Yeah, I think it's been brilliant for the sport. The last season has built some real stars. Callum Smith came through and won the super middleweight division. Usyk, who fights Tony Bellew next week, he went in there, won all the belts, and defends them in a huge fight next week against Tony Bellew. So I think the tournament's been great for bringing fighters together And as Kalle says, there's, take away from the promoters, it's most important that the fighters get to face each other, and that's what's happening in this tournament. I think you'll see if Ryan Burnett wins Saturday night, we all hope he will. Okay, thank you. On Saturday night, gets the win, and then takes on Zolana Tete, fight that's been talked about for a long time. His promoter, again, Frank Warren, someone who we're rivals with in the UK. This tournament takes away from that, and it's great for the sport. And I think Nonito's coming down in a weight, and I think Ryan's just going to be too strong, too young for him, and will retain his title on Saturday night. And it's great as well that the WBSS are bringing the events to new areas, not just Scotland. You see what they did in Jeddah, and on Saturday night I think you'll see an unbelievable atmosphere. Josh has got a huge fan base here. Ryan's going to have a huge travelling support from Northern Ireland as well, and it would just be an unbelievable atmosphere on Saturday night, and hopefully 2 home wins, both not just for Ryan but for Josh as well.
Well, thank you, Frank. Let's talk to the boxers. Let's start with the bantamweights. We've got 3 semi-final places already decided. WBA regular champion Naoya Inoue, he will face IBF champion Emmanuel Rodriguez, and the WBO champ Zolani Tete will face either Nonito Donaire or Ryan Burnett. So turning to Nonito. Nonito, welcome to Glasgow.
Thank you.
4-division world champion, professional for almost 18 years. What motivates you, and what challenge does this World Boxing Super Series hold for you?
This has been a great opportunity. So WBSS has been a great opportunity to create this enormous desire and inspiration. To answer your question, the only thing that I haven't done in boxing is become undisputed champion. I've done multiple champion, knock of the year, fight of the year, you name it. I've done it all. Unified champion. One thing that I haven't done is undisputed, and that's one thing that's given me this fire. But most of all as well, I have a great team behind me. The gentleman that was saying hope in the back, he's that's my trainer, Kenny Adams, the legendary Kenny Adams. He's not shy for words, but he's a great guy with just the great knowledge of everything. Again, this has just been an amazing opportunity, and I'm gonna give it all I got. I'm never shy when it comes down to fighting. I'm never shy when it comes down to anything. I'm just grateful to be in the ring with a great man. So let's make it happen.
Well, you mentioned Kenny Adams, Nonito's trainer, is out there in the body. We also have Shane McGuigan, the trainer of Josh Taylor, Abel Sanchez, Ryan Martin's trainer, and I do believe that we will possibly have Adam Booth a little bit later. So these guys will all be available, as will the boxers, after the press conference for one-on-ones. But Nonito, if we can just follow on, last time out, you faced a Belfast man in Calframpton, and on Saturday you face a Belfast man in Ryan Burnett.
Belfast guys are tough guys, that's for sure. But sorry to interrupt.
Well, I was just going to say, out with the Northern Ireland accent, is there any similarity between the boxers?
There is definitely similarity, similar in terms of they got big balls, they got big balls. They're there to fight, and that's something that I like. As you know from the history of me in this game, I've always come to fight the best out there. I've always come to reach out to fight the best out there. And that's why I'm in this tournament, given this opportunity to fight the best out there, and that's what you'll get, is the best of me.
We're going to ask you predictions for Saturday evening.
We're here we don't make any prediction in anything, but one thing that we're here for is there's a mission. The mission is victory. No matter what we do, no matter what it is, this is a moment for me to rise. When one is driven to a point, there's only one way to go, and that's going up, and that's rising beyond what I'm capable of. I'm in that moment in time that I am given this opportunity. So I will take this opportunity the best that I can, and I'm truly grateful for that.
Well, thank you, Nonito. It's fantastic to see you in Glasgow, 4-division world champion Nonito Donaire.
Thank you. I didn't get dressed up for nothing.
We turn to Nonito's opponent, Ryan Burnett, former British champion, WBO European champion, WBC International champion, former IBF Bantamweight champion of the world, and on Saturday you defend your title as the WBA Super World Bantamweight champion in your quest for the Muhammad Ali Trophy. The man you face at the other end of the table, Nonito Donaire, 4-division champion, a very, very stern test. Now, he fought in Belfast just 3 weeks after you last defended your belt. Were you there at ringside?
No, unfortunately, I couldn't go to the event, but yeah, I watched it. I seen the fight.
Did you see anything there that you think you can exploit on Saturday?
Yeah, of course. I think everyone has things that they can exploit, but I mean, there's not much with Nonito. He is an incredible fighter. So yeah.
The Muhammad Ali Trophy, the titles, what does this mean to you, the World Boxing Super Series?
This is what every fighter dreams of, is sitting right here doing exactly this. We all dream of these moments of fighting the best and becoming the best in the world, and the World Boxing Super Series, they're making that come true. So not just for the boxers but for the fans, this is what the world needs.
I've got to say, my friend at Belfast Taylor, he's turned you out very well again.
Yeah, looking well. Belfast Taylor doing the job.
Right, well, I'm going to ask this of both the boxers. Should you be victorious on Saturday, and I know boxers hate to look beyond the fight, you will face Alani Tete in the bantamweight semi. Tete has boxed twice in Belfast. There's a real Belfast theme going on in this fight. Nonito, your thoughts on facing Tete? Should you be victorious Saturday?
Tete is an incredible fighter. You know, we have to come up with a different game plan. But that's something that I see and know to exploit a style of Tete. But a tricky guy, definitely a tricky guy.
Ryan, same question. Your thoughts?
I'll tell you on Saturday.
Okay, right. Thank you, Ryan Burnett. Let's turn to the super lightweight quarter-final again. 3 semi-final places already decided. Kirill Relic, the WBA world champion, will face Regis Prograis, the WBC diamond champ, and Ivan the Beast Baranchek, the IBF world champion, will face the winner of Ryan Martin and Josh Taylor. So, Ryan Martin, again, welcome to Glasgow.
Thank you, thank you.
22-0, 12 KOs, and at 135 pounds, you were the WBA Intercontinental and WBC Continental Americas champion. The Muhammad Ali Trophy is at stake, along with the world title belts. The eventual winner will get global recognition. Does this bring added pressure to your game?
I don't think it brings any added pressure. It just brings more glory. Glory to the win, glory to winning a tournament, and you know, every fighter that's in the tournament, it just gives them just more glory when you win the tournament. You know, fighting for the Ali Trophy, that's huge. You know, he means such big things in and outside of the sport of boxing. So just grateful to be a part of being able to fight for his honor.
I watched the documentary last night, and Abel, your trainer, alluded to the fact that you're a very smiley guy. We can see that here. And he did allude to the fact that the only thing you might be missing is that nasty streak. Is he working on it?
Yeah, I'm working on it. You know, a lot of people think that about me, but you know, I'm just a happy person, and you know, I let that mean streak come out in the ring when it presents itself.
So Josh Taylor, he's not only the favourite on Saturday night, he's one of the favourites for the tournament. Do things like that only serve to inspire you?
No, that doesn't bother me at all. Because at the end of the day, we have to get in there. We have to, you know, we have to box. We have to fight, and that's what in every sport. You know, whoever's the favorite, you know, they still have to go up against that opponent, and you know, and the best man will come out Saturday night.
So I take it you've obviously studied Taylor. What does it take to beat him, and especially in front of his home support?
And I know he's definitely a good boxer, a good fighter. You know, just gonna come to me being my best Saturday night, and putting everything together, the right tools, the right timing, and you know, stick to the game plan that Abel has for me.
Plans from now through until the weigh-in? Just chilling out?
Yeah, just enjoy enjoy myself, relax and get ready for Saturday night. Put on a show.
Okay, thank you, Ryan Martin. Let's turn to the Tartan Tornado. Josh Taylor, 2 great professional victories. The SSE Hydro back to 2014, the Commonwealth Games. You lifted gold for Scotland. The camp's over. The fight's only days away. How are things?
I'm all good, yeah, nice and relaxed. Delighted to be back here in Glasgow. I'm only 2 days away from my biggest fight in my career, and I'm nice and relaxed. The Hydro's now my home, and every performance I'm having there, I'm just getting stronger and stronger, and the fans are getting bigger and bigger and noisier, and they believe in me, and there's absolutely no way there's anybody going to beat me in there on any time, especially on Saturday. So yeah, I'm feeling confident, Craig. Yeah.
We asked your thoughts on the World Boxing Super Series at the first press conference, so we won't go over that again. But similar question that I asked Ryan. The Muhammad Ali Trophy is at stake. 2 world titles are at stake. Global superstardom awaits you.
Yeah.
Does this bring added pressure to the game?
No, not at all. I don't feel any pressure at all. I actually love these big events. I love the big nights. I love the big occasions, and when the big occasions arrives, I turn up, and I love it. I thrive under the big lights. So I can't wait. Yeah.
Just a kind of question. You're standing there, you're in the holding area, and the lights go down, and your name gets shouted out, and your music comes on, and the crowd goes absolutely wild. What goes through your head at that moment?
It's just showtime. Let's get it on, and I feel like King Kong. But yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait to get in there on Saturday. I'm nice and relaxed, and I'm feeling super confident. Yeah, I'm in the best shape of my life.
Well, we're all looking forward to it. You called it correctly at the first press conference. Baranchik and Yigit, you said that Baranchik would win that fight. Did you watch the fight?
I never watched it. No. Firstly, because I'm just solely focused on this fight on Saturday. After Saturday, once I get that victory, I'll then focus on Baranchik. But I'm just solely focused on Ryan Martin on Saturday.
Thank you, Josh Taylor. We'll open the floor to questions. We'll open the floor to questions in just a moment, followed by one-to-one with the media, and of course the coaches are available, as well as the boxers, as well as Kala. And if Frank's not gone back too quickly, we can have a word with Frank. Tickets still available, the SSE Hydro website, ticketmaster.co.uk, as the World Boxing Super Series comes to Glasgow. But a final word from the table from Kala Sutherland.
Actually, just about to interrupt you. I mean, if you look at the boxer lineup's one thing, but the trainer lineup with Kenny Adams, Shane McGuigan, Abel Sanchez, Adam Booth, I think it speaks for the depths of the athletes involved here. Those are trainers that don't mess around. It's not easy to get them to train you. So that speaks a lot. Definitely take some time with the trainers, because they're all very, very interesting and very proven individuals themselves. In terms of Saturday, look, we're expecting the 6,000 in there very much, and I've heard it's going very well. We've tried to make it a people's event. We've tried to make it as affordable as possible. Before I get questions on the UK TV, it's quite simple. We've received several offers, but there are no offers that suit us as a brand. And this is not about a fight, it's about a tournament, it's about building a brand. And in the UK, we will be making this absolutely free and available via our streams, which we will put out, and we'll put out all the details. There'll be several different ways of watching it, but it will all be free, and no pay-per-view, no money involved. You can watch it for free. In terms of on the night, I think with £35, I think we've. If I look at other boxing events, I think we're very aggressively priced as always. And one thing I'm very, very excited for on Saturday is to hear that Scottish atmosphere I've heard so much about. Thank you.
Well, Calla, before we open for questions, can I, as a Glaswegian and a Scotsman, on behalf of my fellow Glaswegians and Scotsmen, just say thank you for bringing the lights to Glasgow. It's going to be a fantastic event. Ladies and gentlemen, the floor is open for questions from the press. And don't be shy. Everybody wants to keep the questions secret so they can write them in the papers. Right, shall we have a photo opportunity, and then we are straight on to one-on-ones with the boxers.